Diddy Combs, one of the most influential figures in the music industry, is facing new, more serious accusations just 1 month before his highly anticipated trial begins. The renowned music mogul, who has been a central figure in the rap and hip-hop scene for decades, was hit with new sex trafficking charges in April 2025. These charges mark a significant escalation in the legal troubles that Combs has been entangled in for the past several months. According to the charges, Combs is accused of being involved in a sophisticated sex trafficking operation that allegedly began in the early 2000s. The new charges, which were officially filed just weeks before his trial, bring the total number of charges against him to 5. These charges involve allegations of coercion, exploitation, and forced labor, with the authorities claiming that Combs used his power and influence to force women into sexual acts under duress. The new charges include claims that Combs facilitated a sex trafficking ring, utilizing both his celebrity status and his business empire to recruit women into this alleged scheme. One of the key accusations is that Combs used his entertainment company, Bad Boy Records, as a platform to recruit young women for sex work. The indictment claims that these women were transported across state lines and were forced into commercial sex acts. The authorities allege that Combs was directly involved in the coercion of these women. They argue that, through his control over the women's careers and personal lives, he manipulated them into participating in sexual activities under the guise of professional advancement or career opportunity. According to the charges, Combs used his considerable influence in the entertainment industry to create a network where these women were used for sexual purposes without their consent. The new charges also include allegations of physical abuse and intimidation. Prosecutors claim that Combs maintained a network of individuals who helped him control and manipulate the women involved. They argue that these individuals were responsible for ensuring that the women did not attempt to escape or speak out about their treatment. The indictment describes how these women were kept in a constant state of fear, using tactics such as threats, isolation, and emotional manipulation to keep them compliant. Several women have come forward as victims in this case, providing harrowing testimonies about their experiences with Combs. One of the women, identified as Victim 1, claimed that she was recruited by Combs in 2004 when she was a young, aspiring artist. According to her testimony, Combs promised her a career in music, but instead forced her into sexual acts in exchange for a chance to work in the industry. She describes how she was manipulated and threatened by Combs and his associates, who ensured that she remained silent and compliant. Another woman, referred to as Victim 2, told investigators that she was trafficked across state lines and forced to participate in commercial sex acts. According to her account, Combs would use his power to control her movements and the men she interacted with. She also claimed that Combs would monitor her every move, using fear and intimidation to keep her under his control. Victim 2's testimony aligns with other women's statements, which allege that Combs created an environment where his personal desires were prioritized over the women's well-being. The testimonies from these women paint a disturbing picture of a man who used his position of power and influence to exploit and abuse vulnerable women. The testimonies have brought additional attention to the case, and many are questioning how Combs managed to maintain his public image for so long while allegedly engaging in such heinous actions behind the scenes. Bad Boy Records, the entertainment company founded by Combs in 1993, has been identified as a key player in the alleged trafficking ring. The indictment reveals that many of the women who were exploited were either signed to the label or had hoped to work with it. The company, which has signed major artists such as the Notorious B.I.G., Faith Evans, and Mass, is accused of being a front for Combs' sex trafficking operation. According to investigators, Combs would use the promise of a record deal or career advancement as a way to lure young women into his sphere of influence. Once they were under his control, the women were allegedly subjected to abuse and exploitation. Some of the women were reportedly made to perform sexual acts for Combs and his associates in exchange for the possibility of signing a record deal. Combs' role as a powerful figure in the music industry gave him significant leverage over these women. The indictment claims that he used this power to ensure their silence, threatening their careers and livelihoods if they spoke out about the abuse they endured. The influence of Bad Boy Records and Combs' stature in the entertainment world made it difficult for many of these women to escape his grasp, leaving them trapped in a cycle of exploitation. Despite the mounting evidence against him, Combs has consistently denied the charges. His legal team has argued that the women's accusations are based on misinterpretations, and that the relationships between Combs and the women involved were consensual. Combs' attorneys have stated that any sexual activity that occurred was part of mutually agreed-upon relationships, and that there was no coercion or trafficking involved. In his defense, Combs has claimed that he is being targeted due to his high profile and success. His legal team argues that these allegations are part of a broader conspiracy to bring down a powerful Black entrepreneur in the entertainment industry. They maintain that Combs' wealth and fame have made him a target for false accusations, and they are preparing for a vigorous defense at trial. However, many of the women involved in the case have expressed doubt about Combs' version of events. They argue that his denial is an attempt to discredit them and avoid accountability for his actions. The women have emphasized that they were not involved in these sexual activities voluntarily, and that they were manipulated and coerced into participating by Combs and his associate. As the trial approaches, the legal battle is expected to intensify. The charges against Combs are serious, and the evidence being presented could lead to significant legal consequences for the music mogul. If convicted, Combs could face lengthy prison sentences for his involvement in the trafficking ring, and for the abuse and exploitation of the women involved. The trial will also serve as a moment of reckoning for the music industry, which has long been criticized for its treatment of women. Combs' case highlights the power dynamics that exist within the entertainment world and the ways in which women have been exploited by powerful men. Many advocates for women's rights have expressed hope that this trial will bring attention to the systemic abuse and harassment that has taken place in the industry for decades. For Combs, the trial represents a pivotal moment in his career and his life. While he has built a successful empire through his music, business ventures, and cultural influence, these charges could unravel everything he has worked for. The outcome of the trial will have a lasting impact on Combs' legacy and could redefine how he is remembered in the public eye. Combs' legacy is undeniably tied to his success in the music industry. As the founder of Bad Boy Records, he helped launch the careers of some of the most iconic artists in hip-hop and R&B history. His influence has shaped the sound of modern music, and his business acumen has made him one of the wealthiest and most powerful figures in the entertainment world. However, the new charges in the ensuing trial could overshadow his professional achievements. If the allegations against him are proven to be true, Combs' legacy could be forever tainted by the abuse and exploitation of vulnerable women. Many are already questioning how this case will affect his standing in the industry, and whether his career can survive such serious accusations. The trial will also have broader implications for the entertainment world. It has sparked a conversation about the ways in which power and influence are often abused in the industry, and it has raised important questions about accountability for those at the top. Regardless of the outcome, Combs' case will undoubtedly serve as a catalyst for change in the way the music industry handles allegations of abuse and misconduct. There will likely be increasing public scrutiny, not only on the case itself, but also on the legal and entertainment systems that have allowed such alleged abuses to go unchecked for so long. The outcome of this trial has the potential to shift the power dynamics in the entertainment industry, particularly for those in positions of influence like Diddy Combs. His case is seen as a critical moment in the ongoing fight against sexual exploitation, both within the industry and in broader society. Advocacy groups for survivors of sex trafficking and exploitation are hopeful that this trial will signal a shift toward greater accountability for powerful figures who use their status to harm others. As the trial date nears, the public will be closely watching every development in the case. Whether Combs is found guilty or not, this trial will leave a lasting mark on his career and on the entertainment industry as a whole. And the impact of this case is likely to be felt far beyond the courtroom, with industry-wide ramifications. If Combs is found guilty, it could open the floodgates for other women who have suffered similar abuses at the hands of powerful men in entertainment to come forward and seek justice. This could prompt a wider reckoning within the music industry, and perhaps even the broader cultural landscape, about the treatment of women and marginalized groups by wealthy, influential figures. The trial has already brought significant attention to issues of sexual exploitation, and its outcome will likely play a significant role in shaping the future of the entertainment industry's response to allegations of abuse.